Hi peeps, it's Deadbug Davey again. Today we have Kawasaki H2SX. I think this is the SE version, which is pretty much, you get this paint job, the golden blaze green and the black. You get a TFT dash, heated grips. I don't think they come on the standard, but not 100% sure because they only had this in the shop. I've only just ridden it down the road. First impressions are really good actually. It's hard to explain. It is a really smooth bike, kind of ZZR-ish, kind of with a mixture of 1000 SX as well. Dash is wicked, spot on. Cheers for that, bud. Yeah, the dash is wicked. You have different rider modes, and on touring mode you have information like, you know, fuel economy and range and temperature and stuff like that or whatever. But then you can go into like a racing dash, which has how much throttle you're putting on, how much brake you're putting on, how much boost it's got, lean angles and stuff like that. And it's just honestly just a touch of a button, which is just under the starter switch. It's got cruise control, which I've used, which is always a bit disconcerting when you haven't actually used cruise control for a while, which I haven't done. Heated grips, only ridden about 5 miles, so can't really give any sort of opinion on them. I must say, like with Kawasaki, I love their fit and finish. I love these bikes. Kawasaki always seem to be able to put together a really nice bike, and that's what this feels like. It's hard to explain, but it feels so taut and tight, and it's comfortable. It hasn't got fully adjustable suspension. It's got electronic adjustable suspension, but you know, it's got preload adjuster there for you to just easy get to. I'm guessing they're probably KYB suspension or something like that, but you know, you could dial them into your own heart's content. Brakes, pretty damn good actually. I know they're not the Brembos, which people have kind of thought that the H2 has all the time, but believe me, they don't. This one, it doesn't really need them actually. The brakes are pretty good. I like the brakes. They're good. I haven't felt the back one yet. I haven't even tried that much. Still love the rear wheel, same as the H2. Like that. Don't really like the back end of it. It looks a bit. Them rear lights, to me, they look like an old the Aprilia Miles. It's just got that old, you know, the big old double bug eye looking thing. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can get under the seat actually. Sorry to turn you upside down. Ugh. Can't even see the key actually. That's interesting. Okay. I'm going to try to get it to a point where I can actually show people on a regular basis what actually exists under bike seats, because every time you try and have a look under a seat, no bike ever has any storage nowadays. Before you used to be able to put some shoes under it, but not anymore. So that's what you get now. Obviously the toolkit's not in there. That would obviously be for that. And that's where all the battery goes. So you could probably store a couple of things in there if need be. It's not bad. It's better than quite a lot of the stuff I've seen, to be honest with you. Yeah, not bad. I do have to admit that I love this colour. The golden blaze green is probably one of my favourites. Oh, fuck to get that in. I'm doing it right. Yeah, the golden blaze green. I'm not really a fan of green, but this golden blaze green, wicked. Right, let's have a look at this dash. I want to show you. So as I said, full TFT. This is at the moment in, I think it's in the race version, but you know, you have all the power on full. You press and hold the power mode there. That flashes, and then you just press the up button and it'll be medium, low, full. So I leave that. I don't know what this one does. Oh, that just goes through the temperatures down there. Not really interested in that. Traction control, you press and hold that, and then the traction control goes, you know, off 1, 2, 3. Press and hold it again. I'm obviously going to keep it on 3. Not in this sort of weather. I'm not messing around. And there's also a button under here, which if you just tap it, changes the screen from black to white. It doesn't do it automatically like a KTM, which people complain about because it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It becomes annoying. But then you press and hold that, and then that goes into the settings of the bike. So then you have obviously the units of miles per hour and things. You can reset the thing. Got date, clock. They're cornering lights, which I haven't pointed out yet. So then you've got the quick shifter. It's got a quick shifter up and a quick auto blipper down, which the standard one I don't believe does. Only the SE version does. I think that's the... I'm not sure what that is actually. Don't know. Shift light. You can change that. Shift lamp on and off. Display mode. So these were what I was saying. So at the moment it's in Sport 1. So you press it, tap it, and then you have Touring, Sport 1, Sport 2, Sport 3. Sport 1 gives you the boost and the throttle positions, which is kind of like these bits here. Then boost and braking on Sport 2, so then you get the boost and the brake application. And then Sport 3 hides those, so you don't see them going up and down. And I'll show you that when I start the bike in a minute. You'll see it going up and down. And Touring is a bit more like a normal bike. So once you selected the one you want, you press and hold the button, and it goes back in. See, and then this is where you end up with like a normal dash of, you know, ODO and temperature. It's a bit more like a normal dash to me. Right, so I'll go back into that. I like the way you can change the brightness. It's on full bright anyway. Display mode, so I'll go on Sport. And if you just tap it instead of pressing and holding it, you can then just choose black and white from here, but you can do that with a single push. So I'll choose black, press and hold, and then it goes to that. If you want to do white, as I said, you just tap it, black and white. Right, starting it, you push down on this button here. Right, make sure the stand's down, yep. Right, and then as you can see, there, that's, I believe, like a, I don't know what it is. It will pick up your acceleration and your braking, I believe, on that bit. But then that's boost and throttle. So when you actually do this, see? Yeah, does that. Anyway, cornering lights. That's them there. It's a nice looking front end actually. It's grown on me. I didn't like the front end, but I like it now. It's kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of some animal, but I'm not sure exactly what animal it reminds me of, but it reminds me of an animal. Cornering lights are here. So as you're like tilting in, the first one comes on, and then you go a little bit further, the second one go a bit further, the third. I don't think they all come on. I think they flick off and then the next one comes in. One thing at the moment, the only thing I don't like about it is, and I wouldn't say it's something I don't like, because it's the same with pretty much every bike in the world that comes out. Not sure if I like the can. The can, it doesn't. I don't like the look of it. Don't like the look of it. The hugger, the tail tidy bit. I mean, sorry. It's not too bad actually. It doesn't stick out too far. I can live with that. I don't really like this part of the frame compared to like a H2. Obviously, because it's made to have luggage and 2 people, they've had to strengthen the subframe. That's why it's more like that. So yeah, that's what you have to deal with. And also it has a centre stand, which is good, you know, and that's, yeah, that'll be an easy bike to get up on a centre stand. Easy, not a problem at all. Right, let's go and have a little ride. And I don't know about the heated grips. You press them but I don't know when they're on, and I don't know what setting they're on. They flash at you and then they go green. But yeah, I'm not going to go fast in the slightest because this bike is just too new, and to be honest, it's a powerful bike. The roads are shit, so yeah. And there's already been a couple of people that have had issues today at the bike shop, so I don't want to be one of them. Mirrors, I should have actually adjusted those. Like, I did have them really good position, but I kind of messed them up. Don't do that when you're riding along, normal people. If you're not as crazy as me, I can, yeah, I need to come down. I need to, that's better. Still seeing a bit of my shoulder, but they look good. But it, right, impressions of the bike. It is, now I'm back on riding it. Oh, and by the way, got cruise control. You know, I think I said it's got cruise control. You just press that to turn it on, and then the little white light comes on, and then the buttons that are up the bottom of the cruise control button there. So you have resume and set. So if you wanted to go 30 mile an hour, you'd press that. I think, yeah, see, and then there's a little sign there saying set, just above the speedo. To turn it off, just pull the clutch in, it's done. And then if you were riding along and you wanted to reset that, you just, no, sorry, resume, you just press resume. Right. Oh, fucking hell, see all those cars. Not too bad. See that? Like, the quick shifter is lovely, lovely, seamless, and it also has an auto blipper. So, you know, you come off the throttle, just touch it down, it goes down. See, look, that's third gear, fourth, fifth, off the throttle, fourth, yeah, quick shifter and auto blip, lovely, brilliant, they're silky, silky smooth. I do have to admit, I do like the auto blip features on bikes. You don't really need them on the road. I don't know if you need it on a bike like this, like a touring bike. Seems a bit excessive, but it is pretty damn cool. But yeah, it definitely feels like a ZZR, just not as big. It doesn't seem to have that initial punch. It's not far off. It's not far off. I don't know if you could see like this little, the rider thing with the green stripe. Every time I accelerate or brake, the green stripe does go up and down, so it is picking up like G-forces of acceleration and deceleration. Yeah, this is a bit annoying here. But so far, I really like it. The riding position is really nice. It actually fits me just right, and I'm about 6 foot tall and I'm just under 16 stone, so it fits me nice. There's not much pressure on my wrists. Yeah, I think it's really nice. I think it's a really nice, typical Kawasaki, where Kawasaki seem to do bikes where the engines, they feel like they're not stressed. They just kind of feel like a turbine. They just seem to have power, like all through the rev range. Like even if you're in 6 doing 30, it's not an issue. The engine doesn't suffer, it doesn't struggle, it just kind of just winds on. And I think that is one of the Kawasaki's traits that people do like. And I like it. To be honest, I've owned many bikes in my life, and many makes of bikes too. I've had bikes, I'm not going to say any manufacturers that I've had troubles with, but I have had bikes where I've had troubles with them. and with build quality as well, and certain manufacturer which is supposed to be an amazing build quality, and the ones I had were just absolute shit. But the Kawasaki, my first ZZR, which was my first Kawasaki, my ZZR 1400, I took it all apart over the winter to ACF the components and stuff, and the build quality on a Kawasaki, just even little things like electrical connectors, they're so good, they're so nice. They actually use proper connectors, not like shit that just let water in. Yeah, they are just nice. They are something that I could actually deal with. He's letting me go first, that's nice of him. Yeah. It definitely has that ZZR get up and go, where it just kind of you just wind it on, and of course with a standard pipe it's not going to be noisy, so you just kind of wind it on and it feels comfortable. The engine doesn't feel stressed. Like at the moment it's 3000 RPM, 6th gear, 50 mile an hour, you know, and like it will just accelerate. That's a slight twist of the wrist, slight twist. So it has plenty of power. Yeah, I should have taken more time to adjust the mirrors, that's my own fault. I'll pull over in a minute, I'm going to try it in low. And I'm guessing what they normally do is they don't necessarily cut power, they cut like the power at the first 50% of the throttle or something. So yeah, we'll see. This feels okay. The medium one is a nice, I haven't really gunned it, but it's still, yeah, there's still plenty of power there. So yeah, that's quite good, I think. See, the brakes are definitely good. I'm not sure if I like the distance they are away from my finger. I might adjust that. Right. So, power. That was on medium back there. Seemed okay. Power low. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but you know what? I'll try it. Yeah, it feels a bit better. Right, so we're now on power low. Still feels reasonably capable. I wouldn't say it's you know, there's certain bikes where I've had them before and you put them in like the lowest mode and it cuts down power so much, like the actual initial bit of the throttle just goes. Right, so yeah, like I'm winding the throttle on, it is taking time to get there. Yeah, you could definitely feel it will take longer to get to where it needs to, so that's pretty good. And it was no sudden surge, it was just acceleration. Like, look, I'm turning the throttle a lot, but the acceleration is just smooth and constant. It's not like it's pulling your arm off. But that's on the lowest mode, don't forget. I hate this bit, I'm trying to think where the corner is. Heated grips, feeling good. I don't know what setting they're on, but they're green. I think they're always green, actually. You just press them again, I think it flashes. Yeah, it goes orange and then flashes at you. See, it's flashing. I think the flash is at a different rate. and then it just goes green. Press it again, goes orange. Oh, that's off. Press it again and it flashes fast. So I'm guessing when it flashes fast, I'm thinking that's full power. But I don't know. So low mode at the moment, for these sort of conditions, I think low mode's pretty damn good. It's quite ideal, really. It's you know, these roads around here, they're not great at all. So yeah, I think at the moment that could be the way to go. But I don't really like sticking things in low mode. Yeah, it's very predictable acceleration in low. Very nice, actually. It would be a nice, you know, if you were cruising, or if it was raining, or if it's been raining and it's greasy like it has at the moment, then I think low mode is nice. Anyway, handling wise, it does handle very nice. You know, it's a big bike, it's quite heavy, but kind of like the ZZR does, that hides its weight very well when you're moving along. And that's what this does. This does hide its weight very well. And I've only just got on the thing, so I feel quite comfortable. I wouldn't be comfortable enough to like go fast because of the roads, but the bike itself I feel quite comfy on. Seat is really nice, actually. Really comfortable. Yeah, I don't know what it will be like for a pillion, but I don't care about pillions, I only care about myself. For me, it's nice. See, this road here is a little bit dodgy. I think the bike's only got like 100 miles on it, so I'm being careful around these. So at the moment, low mode seems really good. Back brake, I don't think that's been used. There's not much there, to be honest with you. But it'll be alright, I think. Yeah, so the quick shifter works pretty much at any sort of revs. You know, that was like 2,500 RPM and it still worked. But before, they had to be quite high up in the rev range bikes with quick shifters. Not anymore, you can kind of do it anywhere. But the lower the RPMs, the more clunky a quick shifter seems. Right, I'm going to try this now. Right, I tried to do this in every bike. I put it in 5th gear in a 30 and just see what it's like. Certainly okay at the moment in low mode, seems fine. I don't know what it'll be like in full power. I might pull over here and just change it over to full. These roads. Ooh. All right, power full. That's that in full. Yeah. Right, 30 mile an hour. In 5th. Feels good. Feels good. You know, there's no struggle. You know, if you actually have a bike that you could do that with, then you know you've got a nice torquey engine, right? And I'm not going to clutch, just going to accelerate. Look, not a problem at all. Just creamy acceleration. And as you can see, you can get up to speed quite quick. Very, very easily get up to speed. This has got one of those engines where it'll trick you because it is silent. It feels like a magic carpet ride. It fools you into thinking that you're not actually gunning it, and you're not, but you are shifting. and that is exactly what the ZZR did. It tricks you into feeling that you're not going that fast. Keep forgetting I've got the blipper. Right. Yeah. She's a nice bike. I'll watch these tractors around here. That's why I'm doing everything in short spurts. It's nice bike. The brakes, they're definitely good actually. I don't think you need Brembos on this. I don't think you need the Brembo M50s that you get on the H2. Even though it's a bigger bike, I don't think it needs it. I think the back brake could probably come into its own when you actually start using it. I don't think it's been used. Probably in the whole time the bike's been on the road, I don't think the back brake's been used. It feels very glazed. Like new pads still. But, yeah, I like it. I don't know how much these are. You get the quick shifter and the auto blipper on the SE, which is this one. You don't get it on the standard. You obviously get the different paintwork on this one. The TFT dash on this one, which you don't get on the other one. I'm not sure what else is the actual difference between the two models. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure on that. I'm sure they've got the same brakes. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, heated grips. I don't think the other one has heated grips. And it might not have cruise control. I'm not sure on that, but it might not have cruise control. So I think you're paying an extra £3,000 for TFT dash, the paint job, heated grips, cruise control, auto blipper, quick shifter, and I think that might be it. That might be the only differences. I'm not quite sure. So is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know if I'd pay an extra £3,000 for that, but if I was in the market and I was going to buy one of these, I would 100% buy this SE. I would not buy the standard instead of this, even though I'm sure that one's a bargain. But I just wouldn't. I would be drawn to this just because of you know, heated grips, cruise control. I like the quick shifter and the blipper. The screen, I always had a bit of a thing where I thought I don't really like TFT dashes because I think they're a bit of a gimmick. But after actually using it, they are very, very clear, obviously. But I really like the way that Kawasaki have done this, the way that it is, because the ones I've seen before, you kind of you have like a race mode and a normal mode, and then the race mode is kind of like just speed and revs, and like the normal mode is just normal. Whereas this is kind of like, it has the touring mode, which gives you more information, and it looks like a normal dash, and then you have the mode that it is at the moment, which gives you a bit more information. Yeah, see, that was easy there. See, I even went faster than I should have done there, and I didn't even mean to. But, yeah. So yeah, I really like it. If I had a spare 18 grand, see, the suspension's really nice as well. I bounced over those nicely. If I was in the market for a bike like this, would I pipe for this over something like, say, a ZZR? That's an interesting question, because of course the ZZRs are going to be defunct because of their engine displacement. You know, like the EU. So I don't know. I probably would actually, because I really like it. It's nice. It's really nice. And I think the problem that we've got at the moment is people are actually saying that this is like a Grand Tourer. It's a replacement for the GTR 14. It's not a replacement for the GTR. The GTR is a Grand Touring bike, which is why it has shaft drive and everything like that. This does not have shaft drive, and in my opinion, you can't have a Grand Tourer unless it's got a shaft drive. If it's got chain, it's not a Grand Tourer, it's a Sports Tourer or a Hyper Tourer. I don't think it's definitely not a GTR replacement. It is a ZZR replacement. And the ZZR, I've had 2 of those, and they have both pretty much been one of my favourite bikes. I absolutely love them. You know, they're big and comfortable, but they are awkward, which is kind of where something like this would come in, because it's still heavy, but it hides its weight well, and you can put panniers on it, which is always awkward on a ZZR. You have to, like, you know, I don't think you could easily get them on the side like this. I think it's made to take them on the side. So yeah, I think I probably would pipe for this, because I do like going touring up into Wales. I do like panniers to just use and then fill up, and then just take them off. So yeah, I would probably pipe for this over a ZZR. It's nice to see someone wait. That was nice of them. I'll give them a nod for that. See, that's on the roads of England today. You have to have common courtesy, because that person normally around where I live, they would have just gone round that cyclist, and you would have had to have braked. But around here they don't. So when they actually be nice and do stuff like that and do something considerate, give them a nod. Say thanks. You know, it's not hard. Not hard at all. Alright, so we're going to be coming back. I came through here not long ago on the Husqvarna, Vitpillen and Svartpillen. Yeah, these heated grips are good. They're actually getting almost too hot to hold. Yeah, so now I'm coming back this way to go back into Aylesbury. And the bike's handled it lovely, actually. It is a really nice bike. Cracking bike. I really like it. If I wanted a bike like this, if I wanted a sports tourer, hyper tourer slash thing, then this would probably be my first one. I don't see or know of any sort of a bike in this sort of thing, in this genre of bikes, that would keep up with this. You know, you've got the Hayabusas and stuff, but I think this would still. I think this would still do them. I don't think that they would keep up. Maybe not in the like speed, but everywhere else, I think this would still do them. So I've got a car up my chuff. I don't want a car up my chuff. I think I would still choose this over a Hayabusa or a ZZR. I do. And I think it's the same sort of ilk of bike. You know, it's a big bike, heavy, capable of a lot of speed, in comfort and relaxed. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do in a minute is just pull over at a little area that I sometimes stop at, which is on this crossroads, just where this gate is, and I will sign out. Right, so let's turn that off. Just put the hazards on so you can see the indicators, all LED. Yeah, I still don't like that back end. Don't like it. It might grow on me. What's the brakes? Brake light like. Nice and bright. Don't know if you can see that. Indicators are up in there. Yeah. So it's nice, I like it. See the shift light up there? Up the top? Yeah, it's nice. So, I just wanted to say, while I'm sitting here, just before I take this back, I forgot to mention it. I just wanted to say thank you to all the guys on your bike over in Wadston. Good dealer over there. They do all the Kawasaki's, Ducatis, Aprilia. They pretty much cover everything, but I think they are pretty much mostly Kawasaki, Aprilia, Ducati, and Yamaha. But they do tons of stuff. Tony's the guy to speak to for Kawasaki's. If you want to test ride on a bike like this, obviously you do need your paperwork. You need to take your license into him. You need to have a clear license, no points. That's the main thing. A lot of places won't let you ride anything unless you've got a completely clear license. He's a good guy. Tony's a good guy. I've dealt with him for years. Once he gets to know you, he's a good lad. He speaks very fast. So if you're going in there with an open mind. I think concentration is the main aim of the game. One thing I have noticed actually while I'm just sitting here, the headers are a different shape to the H2. The H2 has not ovals, but they are kind of like, you know, they're like that, like two circles kind of merged together to kind of like a long stretched out circle. They just look like a normal round to me. I don't know if that makes any difference, but yeah, it's different headers. So, oh yes, that was another thing. A lot of people are getting this confused. They think that the engine on this is exactly the same as a H2, but it's just restricted a little. It's not the case. As far as I know, the only things that this shares with the H2, which has not been tampered with or touched, are the engine cases, like the crank cases. Everything else, different. The engine, even if the engine is exactly the same, there are tweaks internally that make it not the same. It's not like it's just a different gasket or something like that. There are different things. The supercharger is different. The fins are at different angles. So this is pretty much designed as a, well, it's got economy in mind. The H2 was just nuts. You know, it will do 30 miles per gallon like standard before it's even been tuned. This I think will do like 45, 50 quite easily. So this is basically made for economy. And it is a pussycat to ride. When I was riding it around the car park or riding it slow, it feels fine. It just feels like a normal bike. You don't actually know that there's a supercharger there. But obviously once it starts kicking in, it does come in, but it does not come in like a H2. It comes in very, very smooth, very buttery, whereas the H2 is quite aggressive. So it's not the same. Kawasaki are very adamant that this is not a H2 designed to take a pillion and luggage. It is a touring bike with a supercharged 1000cc engine. It is not a H2, even though it is classed as a H2. A lot of people are looking at it because it's got the like the H2 insignia down underneath the Ninja sign. They think it's a H2 like the full-on sports bike. It's not. It is not. The H2, I'm guessing they're just going to use for everything that they put a supercharger on. But you know, if they made a supercharged 400 and called it a H2 whatever, H2 4X or something, then you know it's not derived from a H2, is it? It's just a brand. The H2 is going to be a brand, I believe, for Kawasaki. Anyway, I'm going to take this back, and once again, thanks again for watching. Thanks for everyone who watched my original video for the Husqvarna Svitvillain and Svartpillen. I really appreciate any of your comments and your views, your likes and dislikes. I'm the sort of guy who likes constructive criticism. If you didn't like it, then sometimes it's best to actually say why you didn't like it, because I'm only just starting in this. This is like pretty much my second review, but sometimes it's nice to for people to let you know what they want, because obviously if I'm riding around I can't cover everything. I can only cover what's in my mind. So yeah, once again, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Not sure what it's going to be. We'll just wait and see. wait and see what shop I go into and see what they'll give me. Okay, Deadbug Davey, out.